Hey guys, it's 258. God, we're back into the MLP side of things. Took a break because I am hopefully, here's hoping this week get a call from an agency and start working. And if not, I'm gonna have to be doing these like every day, not every day, because I feel like I focus too much on YouTube and I need to stop doing that. Also, focus too much on consuming other content, which is probably bad as well. So, anyways, we've read the story before. I'm just redoing it because I don't remember what happened. I know there's a guy called Tim and some side characters that are main characters in this story, I guess. I don't remember too much. I remember that the last chapter we read was chapter 13. And I don't remember what happened, dude. I don't remember what happened. So anyways, other than I think this herding with the human here has a stallion in it, which is kind of sus to me. But like, you do you when it's the mares being the dominant ones here. Anyways, chapter 1. Let's hop right into it once again. He walks slowly down the halls of the royal palace, his boots ring on the marble floors with a measured tread. Nearly a full year of living in this world, and with the exception of the Cayanne Pegasus pony that picked his broken body up from the gorge, he had found himself in and brought him to Canterlot. He knows only the ponies working in the castle, effected a house arrest ever since he's gotten out of the hospital after arriving here. He nods at a passing guard as he walks to his room. He turns a knob and puts a shoulder against the heavy door. All the unicorns around here have no problem with the doors, but he has to put his muscle into it. He pushes the door closed and stops for a moment to put his head against it. The prince says words ringing in his ears. "I'm so sorry, Timonthy, but my ponies tend to be very insular. We deal with other species on this world, but we tend to spend most of the time with each other. I don't know what would happen if you leave the castle without an escort, and your safety is of prime importance here," he says as he turns to look at his room. Growing up middle class back home, everything around him would be considered opulent. Marble everywhere, gold fixtures in the bathroom. He even has a staff that takes care of his needs. Food is delivered anytime he wants it. The bed is one of the most comfortable things he's ever laid on. Just everything is so much. He kicks off his boots towards the entry closet. He'll pick them up later. His stockinged feet sink into the luxurious burgundy carpet made by some of the finest earth pony crafters. Changing the lighting then gets him to look out the window. A Pegasus pony is pushing a cloud. It never stops. The ponies are always so industrious. They're always busy. Even in their play, they're always active. He stops and looks up at the ceiling of the sitting room, and is the same mark that is on Princess Celestia's flank, a stylized sun. He sighs. Princess Celestia and her sister, Princess Luna, have been nothing but kind. They even visit his room from time to time. He always looks forward to Princess Luna since he never has to be formal with her, and when she visits, they usually talk for hours, often late into the night, and when he's bored, she always had a quip to make him laugh. Pretty sure you could be informal with Celestia. You just have to make sure you can pass that line, though. You also gotta make sure no one else is watching. He trudges through the massive sitting room and he glances at his bedroom. It's too late for sleep. He walks through the French doors onto the small balcony outside his room. From there, he can see for miles, which sure beats the cornstalks back home. He admits he rests his elbows on the parapet and looks down at the ponies walking around, every color of the rainbow with those odd markings on their flanks. Cutie marks, he recalls. Understandably, he didn't notice the marks at first. He was more focused on the talking and magical part of the ponies, but as he grew accustomed to them, he noticed how everyone had one. He later learned that the talent of a pony or their calling shows up on their flank when they realize what makes them special. I really wish that was a thing. Another thing he noticed was that he stood taller than most of the ponies he'd met. With the exception of the Princess of the Sun, she's about eye level with him. At times he isn't sure who is more uncomfortable about his height. The ponies have to look up or him who has to look down. He looks farther out, away from the city, on the mountain. Down into the valley there sits a nice-sized town. That's Ponyville, where the rainbow mane pony that found him lives. Rainbow Dash visits from time to time, but even she seems wary of him, with him being the lone human in this world of Equestria. Soft footsteps grab his attention and he turns. The pony that emerges onto the veranda gets a smile out of him. Citrus? I don't know. Citrus. Let me guess on this one. I would say Citrus. Citrus Blush has always been nice to him. She has always been happy to see him. She sees him standing there and gallops towards him. Rearing up on her hind legs for a hug, hugging her tightly, he just stands there for a long moment, relishing the feelings of being close to her. The hug goes on for what seems like forever, and finally she screams a bit, prompting him to let go. She sits down and looks at him. Tim, you seem sad. He nods softly as he walks inside. Yeah, she thinks for a moment, then looks up. You talk to Celestia? He nods. She said no. Again, he nods. Oh, Tim, I'm sorry. The guards get along with you so well, so does the rest of the staff. What was the problem? So does the rest of the staff. What was the problem? Tim sighs as he sinks into the couch. Citrus jumps on the couch next to him and leans against him, his arm going around her automatically as he says, well, I think I was making a convincing case. Then Blue Blood arrives. He smiles as she opens her mouth and sticks her tongue at her tail thrashing her ears back. The royal pain in the flank. What was his problem? Tim sighs, running a hand absolutely through her soft, bright orange mane. He was vulgar, as usual. He compared me to some of the monkeys in the jungle, said I should be sent there, away from decent ponies. He leans his head back and moans, you have been so nice to me, so has the princesses and the guards. He lifts his head and looking at her, his bright, still grey eyes hold a gaze with her cerise ones for a long moment, but there's always the ones that aren't so nice. She giggles. I was afraid of you at first. You do know that, right? He nods slowly. She continues, I had to change your bandages since the usual magical healing was of such limited effect on you. The magic brought you back from the edge of death. But it couldn't close up your wounds, it couldn't fix your broken bones, and there was no way to make new blood for you. And even then, with you all bandaged up, you were still big and scary. Okay. Before you comment, I would say take Blue Blood's offer, and then just try to evolve the apes in this world, and come back and crush them. Come on. Seems like a long-term revenge plan, but come on, it will be worth it. Of course, it'll be nice to every other pony, but Blue Blood is the one we target. I forgot, well, most of the characters, sorry guys, I've been reading too many light novels. And speaking of which, after this, I might continue reading. He nods slowly, light novels, not this. He nods slowly, she continues, I had to change your bandages since okay, I already read that. He sighs, come on, I've seen the Minotaur representatives visiting the princesses. Are you saying I'm scarier than they are? She leans her head on his shoulder. We know the Minotaurs, and while they may be big, they are also peaceful. We had more trouble with griffins than we've ever had with Minotaurs, and you have no idea how our first relations with the Minotaur were with the Minotaurs. She goes, it was pretty rough. A Minotaur would come into a town, and all the ponies would flee. But I'm not a danger to you, you know that, he murmurs softly. She still goes even closer to him. I know that, you know that. She rears back a bit so she can look into his eyes once again, but the ponies out there don't know that. Perhaps I should go to the princess. She's interrupted by him placing a finger on the lips. I'll handle it, but for now, just be a friend. She wraps her forelegs around him tighter and snuggles closer to him, always. They sit like that for a while. Finally he speaks up. Citrus? She murmurs against his chest. Why aren't you afraid of me anymore? That's the big question here. She still goes even closer because I know you, how nice you are, how you would never harm a pony. I just wish I could let others know how nice you are. Tim sighs. He's watched the ponies on the streets. Their concept of personal space is a lot different than his. Ponies that are simply friends will walk very closely together, and ponies snuggle and rub along each other all the time. It actually concerned him the first time that Citrus had hugged him. He didn't know how physical ponies were typically, and he pushed her away, and her look on her face really surprised him. She wasn't trying to get close to him romantically. She just wanted to help a friend who was hurting. Once he realized he was coming among ponies, he accommodated. After being here for as long as he has, he actually welcomes the contact. Citrus. She murmurs again. He smiles. What does your cutie mark mean? She pulls her head away. Well, a cutie mark is... She shows off at the look on his face. Oh, you and your questions. She goes, well, my mark, I'm very proud of it. My special talent is makeup, cosmetics. She giggles at his confused look. I help by making and selling them in my mom's shop. But you worked on me in the hospital, aren't you? A nurse's aide? Don't get me wrong, I love doing it, and it's good money here in Canterlot, but sometimes I like helping out at the hospital as a volunteer. Makeup can cover up scars, but sometimes I wish I could heal them. I started by helping patients with their makeup, but now I help with other things like bandaging and cleaning. Oh, and you were helping me? She nods. It took months for your bones to heal. She traces a hoof gently along the right side of his chest. It was rough for you for most of this last year, Tim. You needed help. I wanted help. Wait, he's been here for over a year and he's still not allowed outside? Come on, haven't the princess at least taken him out to at least stroll a bit? Like, come on. You needed help. I wanted help, Yushu says on that last comment. He leans his head back on the couch, noting the setting sun. You had better run along home. It's getting late. She groans softly. I've been on my hooves all day and I'm already exhausted. I don't want to walk home alone. She looks up slowly. Is it okay if I spend the night here? You don't seem like you want to be alone either. He sighs, his arm reflexively bringing her closer. I'm good with that. Time passes after their little nap time. There was a dull knock at the door, causing Tim to shift a bit. In the haze of sleep, he thinks for a moment, then shifts again. Whoever it is can wait, he's comfortable. A feminine giggle causes his eyes to open wider. Then he takes stock of the situation. Citrus is passed out, her tongue lolled out of the side. Both of his arms are around her. He looks towards the door, at the midnight blue head sticking through the gap of the still open door. When you open my door, he whispers at the smirking alicorn. Princess Luna looks faintly offended. I did nothing of the sort, he snorts. He looks sharply at the sleeping unicorn in his arms. She must have forgotten to close it when she came in, he thought as he absently smoothed her mane. As he looks at her, in response to his action, she snuggles closer to him and he sighs in her sleep. Luna walks in further, her horn lighting. Citrus blushes and folded her magic and lifted gently. Tim watches as she floats into his bedroom and is settled into his bed. As the covers wrap around her, she snuggles into the pillows and murmurs his name softly. Luna giggles again. I see she likes you. He smiles at her, then at Luna. Yeah, she's a good friend. Luna cocks her head to the side for a moment, and her eyes narrow. Are you sure? Only a good friend? He furrows his brow, thinking, yeah, of course. Luna continues just to look at him for a long time. Then she appears to reach a decision as she ruffles her wings a bit and comes up to him, her horn lighting. May I examine you? The alicorn is nearly as tall as he is when standing, and with him sitting down, she's a very opposing presence. Though he's used to her examinations, it's less a medical exam and more of a total scan of him. He has proven to be quite resistant to the most typical magics of unicorns in this world, and she was always wanting to know more about him. He nods as she gets close. Her lit horn is brought down slowly and finally touches his forehead as his entire body locks up as the magic courses through him. He can feel the tingle of the magic as he can feel the field flow over his entire body. Luna grunts softly. It's quite irritating, you know, she murmurs. I can get the magic to focus on you, but it takes a lot of effort. A shiver of power starts at the crown of his head and moves throughout his body, and when it gets through his feet, Luna steps back, her horn extinguishing as she sits on her haunches and pants softly. I really wish I knew how your species does this. He arcs an eyebrow. I've told you many times, while we do have reference to magic in our history, we don't actually have magic. She growls. That doesn't make any sense, Timonthy. All species have magic. It may be latent or overt, but it is there. Griffins don't have consciously directed magic, yet they can land on clouds just like Pegasi. Windards don't have overt magic, but they have much of the strength of earth ponies. You can't be that different. We don't have any magic at all, so I'm pretty sure that's the only difference here. We don't have any magic at all. What do you mean? Luna, different world, you know. He says and leans back. I know what you're saying, Princess, but what I'm telling you is true. The most magic I've ever heard of in my lifetime are illusions. Nothing like what you ponies can do. Humans need machinery to fly like your Pegasi, and we build equipment to do much of the physical work the earth ponies can do with ease. She shakes her head. Then how did you become the primary species on your planet if you are so weak without any natural advantages against predators? We got thumbs. That's how we become... Thumbs and evolution. All he can do is smile and shake his head along with a shrug of his shoulders. She growls, you don't make much sense. He shrugs again. Sorry, Princess. I wish I could help. This gets a snort. Yeah, I know, Tim. If you could help, maybe I could find some way to send you home. That fact hits him home. Oh, that hits him where it hurts. His parents, his girlfriend, even his sister who was dedicated to making his life miserable, all gone. Come on, man. I don't think most sisters do the miserable thing. They only embarrass you like parents. What he has in his life now are sentient equines. They've all been nice to him. The guards in the palace, the staff at the hospital, Citrus Blush, even the princesses. Still, they couldn't replace what he had back home. He feels a tear start to slide down his cheek. Princess, I'm so tired of being a prisoner here. Princess Luna looks shocked. Tim, we don't know how the ponies will react to you. You're here for your own safety. He looks down. What if I want to risk my safety? You know I wouldn't harm a pony. She looks at him for a long moment. Timonthy, you are quite aware of my abilities to see your dreams. Oh, she can do that here, but okay, so we have some magic, I guess. He nods. She continues. When you first arrived, you were more conscious and awake while you were healing. I spent a lot of time in your dreams. I was never able to understand how you got to our world, but I didn't see your memories of your home. Her face softens. I saw that you were a kind person. I believe in my heart that I have been able to convince my sister as well that you pose no danger to the ponies. Then why can't I go? She sighs and looks at him for a long while. I'll talk to my sister. She says she doesn't want you harmed. There are a lot of things happening in Equestria, from changeling attacks to Tyrek a short while ago. Equestria is a wonderful place to live, but it has its own challenges. I'm not certain that you would be entirely safe. He sighs. Princess, I'm willing to take that risk. She looks at him a long time. Then a quiet voice rings out. I'm willing to spend time with him, to protect him. Both Tim and Princess Luna turn to look towards the bedroom. Citrus Blush is standing there. He's important to me. I'll make sure he's safe. Luna looks at her for a long moment. Then at Tim, who shakes his head. I'm not having a woman put herself at risk for my benefit. Luna cocks her head to the side. Why? Oh, that was Tim. Like, I'm not having a woman do that. He blushes slightly because in my world, it's the man's responsibility to protect the woman, to take care of her. Luna smiles softly and opens his mouth to speak, but is interrupted by Citrus Blush. You think I can't handle anything? She says as she stalks towards him, the fur on her back rising. You think I'm some sort of wilting flower in need of your protection? Her voice raising with every word. Why is she bad? Why is she so bad about this? He raises his hands as if to fend her off. Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. She snorts. You're in a crusher now, Tim. It's the mayor's job to protect her stallion. I will protect you, Tim. Luna looks sharply at Citrus. You consider him your stallion? That gets Citrus to stop. Her face turns red all the way to her ears, which flick waddily. No, she protests quickly, looking at Tim as her blush deepens. He's a friend, and it's my duty. Luna giggles and moves over to the smaller unicorn, putting a wing over the smaller pony and bringing her close for a hug. Citrus blush. Are you willing to devote your time to his protection as if he were one of your herd? She squeaks and looks at Luna. A herd? I never said anything about herds. Looking at him, she gulps and looks back at Luna. I'm not even in a herd. I'm too young for that. Stopping a hoof and protest. I just want to keep him safe and make sure other ponies don't harass him. Could someone tell me what's going on here? Tim asks. Luna ignores him. I'm not saying you should fall into bed with him, Citrus. She looks slyly at Tim. He's very different. He might just be interesting in that way. She looks back at Citrus. I'm just saying, are you willing to be a lead mare to his young stallion? I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to say this. To this young stallion. Guide him in learning our ways. Protect him from harm. She ducks her head as she blushes even harder, the blush spreading down her chest. Princess, I don't know. Luna says, well, if I knew he would be protected by some pony as fiercely as that, I might be able to persuade my sister. Come on, boy, come on, my boy, come on, the boy. Citrus opens and closes her mouth several times, but no words come out. Princess Luna stands up and makes her way to the door. I see you two have much to talk about. I shall leave you to discuss this. She extends a wing to Citrus, making the unicorn face her. I've seen how you feel about him. Perhaps it's time for you to tell him, she says softly. She smiles at Tim. Sleep well, young Timonthy. We can talk more in the morning. Tim watches Luna walk slowly out of his room, her magic closing the door behind her. He looks at the closed door, then his head slowly rotates to Citrus, who is standing there with a single forehoof raised a bit. A shocked expression on her face. What the hell was that about? The look on her face only increases his confusion. She walks slowly towards him, her ears flicking back and forth. She remains silent as she hops on the couch, then puts her hoof on his knee. Looking into his eyes deeply, he frowns. Okay, this is getting weird. He leans back as she comes forward. What is going on here? She stops at him. I'm weird to you? She asks softly, a little sullen. Not like Citrus. What you're doing is weird. Not you, you dum-dum. Well, you are weird, but still. He furrows his brows, the heat in her voice catching him off guard. Well, remember not very long ago I was in my world, and now I'm in a world with multicolored ponies who've never heard of humans, and they have magic. I have none. So yes, everything about this situation is weird to me. Her lower lips tremble, so she looks down, and to his shock, tears start to fall. I'm just some creature to you? Before he's able to respond, she backs away quickly and hops off the couch. Well, I guess I was wrong about you. Her voice cracks, and more to such a fall. I'll go now, she says softly. Her horn lights, and in a bright flash, she's gone. Tim looks at where she was standing, his mouth hanging open. What the hell just happened? Bro. How are they so, like... How do you say? How are they so, like, right off the bat, they, like, come on, Citrus, you've been hanging out with him. Like, yes, you're weird to him. Of course you are. That's not different. Okay. I've got to say her name. I think it's Cayanne? The Citrus is the orange one. Cayanne. It's Cayanne. Cayanne, okay. Alright. We're at where she teleported to. Cayanne lights her horn. Her front door opens in response to her magical command. As she closes the door, she uses her magic to pull down the zipper. The princess dress that she had bought at Canterlot boutique is just beautiful. Even though it took 2 times to get right. She pulls forward with her magic as she backs slowly out of the dress. In moments, a hangar floats over and the dress is draped carefully. A hanger. Why is that typed so carefully? Dress is draped carefully onto it. She smiles as she floats the hanger up towards her room. She knows where it's going. She looks around the ground floor of the apartment. All the lights are off, though Citrus should be asleep by now. The mare never wants to go out on the town. She sighs as she remembers dancing with that one stallion. How beautiful he was. She shakes her head. Something snatched her right out of her reverie. Hello? She rotates her ears. There's something there. She can hear it. She listens intently. She can't identify what she's hearing. She walks slowly up the stairs, and the sounds are a bit clearer. She's able to recognize more. Her eyes widen as she gallops down the hall. She slides to a stop in front of Citrus's room. She opens the door and there's her roommate laying in the bed sobbing. Cayanne gasps and gallops over to her friend. She climbs up into the bed and gathers her sobbing friend closer. Who's the stallion? I'll kill him. Citrus hiccups. It wasn't a stallion. Cayanne brings her friend closer. Citrus blush. In my experience, the only time a mare cries that hard is over a stallion. Citrus turns and hugs Cayanne hard. I'm so confused, she sobs. With much coaxing, Cayanne is able to slowly bring out the story from Citrus. Finally, as Citrus winds down, she's picked up in her friend's magic with a small peep. Dude, you just have Tim confused, man. Like, how dare you? Like, you're supposed to have, like, a nice, normal conversation. Of course, you probably started advancing too far into that. I'm thinking you'll understand. Because, you know, pony, human, gotta talk things out first before doing the relationship thing. The different steps here. Especially when I say, like, the human being here and not knowing the customs, the culture of this world, it would be like level 0. Then you have to like level 1 and 2, like 3, those friendships. Then, you know, possible dating on level 3 or 4. I'm not sure why I'm saying that to you guys. I don't know why I'm making this canon thing a thing. Alright. Cayanne grins as she carries her friend down the stairs, and they end up in the large kitchen. Cayanne lights the stove and brings out a pot and some ingredients as she sets her friend down in a chair. Cayanne focuses on the fridge and it's open and more ingredients float towards her. She keeps an eye on her friend, who is sitting there watching her tears abated for now. Milk goes into the pot and starts to heat. Cayanne diverts her attention from what she's doing, though her horn remains lit. Sweetie, he's been in our world for what, a year or so? Citrus nods as Cayanne continues, and he's been in a virtual house arrest since he got out of the hospital. Again, she nods. Cayanne brings out a wooden spoon to stir the milk so it doesn't scorch. As she's stirring, she muses. So how many of your social customs do you think he knows? She says as she looks pointedly at Citrus. Citrus thinks for a long moment, then she hangs her head. Probably none, but he hasn't given me any signs at all that he's interested. I had never thought about it before. Princess Luna says something, so I don't even know how I feel about him. Cayanne arcs an eyebrow as she judges the milk at the right temperature. A carton of cream darts in and pours into the pot as she continues to stir. The scent of what she's cooking starts to permeate the room. Her nose flares as she inhales the aroma. She glances at her friend. So, how do you feel about him? Citrus looks at Cayanne, then she says, I like him, that much is obvious. Cayanne pours the mixture into 2 overlarge mugs and sets them on the table. She brings over a small jar and a spoon, and a sprinkling of cayenne pepper flakes, and here you go. She sets the large mug in front of her friend, who ponders the liquid before her. She takes a sip of her own drink, relishing the creaminess and spice of the drink. She smacks her lips together appreciatively. Citrus, he's an alien. He knows nothing about us, except from what he's been able to observe from the castle, which means he knows next to nothing. Add to that, he's male. Citrus finally pulls her drink forward and takes a long sip. She sighs happily, then what Cayanne said finally registers. What do you mean he's male? Cayanne giggles. Trust me, I'm a couple of years older than you. Males, she smiles distantly, are clueless. They know what they want, but they have no idea when we are offering it to them. You need to be blunt with them. You know, sometimes it could work out, you know. Just straight up just be blunt. Especially if you were buttering up in the beginning. Citrus blushed things for a long time. Oh no, I'm not going to say I want him and I to fall into bed together just like that. That's vulgar and inappropriate. Cayanne giggles as she blows on her drink a bit. She takes a longer sip. Oh, Citrus, you'll never have sex with him if you don't try. That gets Citrus' ears to perk forward as her mouth opens and her tongue sticks out. Cayanne, she trails off at the smirk on her friend's face. Cayanne's smirk changes to a genuine smile. Exactly what you want. I've seen how you are when you talk about him. You're in love, Citrus blush, and I'm your friend. So maybe you should just tell that stallion you want what you want from him. But he's so different, Citrus whines. What if his species is completely different that way? Are you saying that he doesn't have the same equipment as any other stallion? Citrus blushes. I don't really know. If he's not in the hospital gown, he's wearing something else. I've never seen him without clothes. I almost came into the bathroom while he was taking a shower, and he refused to come out until I had left the room. He's weird when it comes to wearing clothing. Cayanne giggles. Well, there's one way to find out. Citrus drinks the last of her drink, and how is that? She says as she puts down the empty mug. Cayanne flicks in here. Go to him, tell him how you are in love, and wait for his answer. Citrus shudders. And what if he says no? Cayanne moves over and rears up to hug your friend tightly. Then your friend Cayanne will have to kick his sorry fling for not saying what a wonderful mare you are. She giggles in Cayanne's grip. Thanks, Cayanne. Cayanne nuzzles her friend. Now go and let him know how you feel. My boy. This is just the most I feel like this was the dumbest way she could have taken the response, especially since you should know that he doesn't understand too much shit. Okay, back to Tim. Tim flips over in the bed. The conversation with Luna and with Citrus has rendered him unable to sleep. Seeing the look of pain on the mayor's face before she blinked out really hit him hard. But what did it all mean? He thinks fiercely. Could she be interested in him? As more than a friend, he ponders that for a long moment, then rejects. He's an alien. There are ponies all around him she could be attracted to. She could be interested in him, could she? He shakes his head vigorously and flips over onto his other side. Ugh! He screams as he sees the yellow unicorn with the baby. He screams as he sees the unicorn with the fiery orange mane standing there, her face unreadable. He looks at her for a long time. Finally, he breaks the silence. Citrus? She again walks slowly towards him, stepping onto the bed. Citrus, what was going on earlier? What's going on now? Why did you teleport away like that? She looks unsure of herself for a long moment. Then she comes closer to him. Tim, she says, yeah? I think I'm falling in love with you. He shakes his head to clear it. You are what now? She leaps forward and plants her lips on his in a passionate kiss. My girl just went full ham. My girl just went full ham. Just like, all right, we're taking this to a few steps right away. I love that. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Listen to what you guys do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.